Will you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Antoinette, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mr. Ventriano?
Here.
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Ms. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here. First on tonight's agenda, we do not have an attorney here, is a public hearing on the Jack and Jill Hollow subdivision. Somebody have the public hearing notice? Let me have it. See if I can read this. Notice is hereby given by the Town Board of the Town of Patterson of a public hearing to be held on the application of Jack and Jill Hollow subdivision for a variance of Article 8 of the Town of... Huh?
Here comes Don.
Of the Town of Patterson subdivision regulations for property located at 350 Cushman Road. Now therefore pursuant to section 138-53 of the Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York will hold said public hearing on the aforesaid requested variance at the town offices, 1142 Route 311, Patterson, Putnam County, New York, on Wednesday, January 23rd, 2018 at 7 p.m. in the evening of that day or soon thereafter as may be heard, at which time all persons interested therein shall be heard. The town board will make every effort to assure that the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Jack, would you like to explain why you were here tonight?
Evening, I'm Jack, of Jack and Jill. We purchased a property which is 18, 19 acres in size, 14 acres on one side of Cushman Road and 4 acres on the other side. There's an existing house, garage, there's an existing barn across the street, there's a wetlands across the street. But we are subdividing a piece on the east side of the road into a 5.5 acre piece, which is this piece here, and a 9 acre piece, which is the piece with the existing house. The red on this map is the development envelopes for each lot. And as you can see, and the white is the undeveloped portions in accordance with the open space law.
So if I may, the red has been delineated based on your discussions with the planning board as areas that will be developed on the lots, and outside of those red, there is discussion of putting a conservation easement on those areas to make sure they stay protected.
Whatever the planning board wants. And that's where, I guess there were discussions about that, yes.
So we can go to a one lot out there and not get away with the subdivision? If the planning board wants?
No, as far as the
Can't do
conservation easement, I guess the planning board wasn't exactly sure how to handle the conservation easement and the undeveloped portions, and I told the planning board that whatever restrictions they want to put on the rest of the parcel, and it's in, I guess it's set in the open space law.
Consistent with the law, the town board would issue a variance and send you back to the planning board to work out the details of the conservation easement.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I would ask at this time if any member of the public has any questions on the application, if they step forward and give your name for the record, ask your question or make your statements.
One at a time, please.
Don't all rush.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're going to have to sit around for a while to see what we do with the resolution.
How about I come in tomorrow and talk to you?
I won't be in tomorrow morning because I'm meeting with the East of Hudson Watershed tomorrow afternoon.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
Have a good night.
Good seeing you.
Would somebody like to audit the bills?
Sure. I will make a motion that the town board approve abstract number 1 dated January 11th, 19 in the amount of $378,921.36. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Charles, you're up at bat.
All right. First, we have a senior citizen trip request to go to AquaTurf in Connecticut for lunch and show and what have you. And the net cost to the budget will be $1,450, which includes the transportation by JTR Transportation, who came in at the low quote of $890 included in all of that. So I'll make a motion that the town board approve the senior trip request to AquaTurf for Tuesday, April 16th, 2019, in an amount not to exceed $1,450. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a proposal from NICEC that talks about changing all of the lighting in 5 of our buildings. And it looks like, correct me, Mr. Supervisor, that the bottom line is it'll cost them roughly $20,000 and cost us $42,000 to do all this, but with the savings on the lighting costs, the payback should be within 3 years.
If we believe their estimates on the savings to us, yes.
Okay. So, taking that into consideration, is for the board, I guess, is to talk about, do we really want to spend $42,000? And where would that money come from? The ROI, return on investment, in 3 years is pretty standard and acceptable. And after that, what would we be saving? Something like $10,000 a year? Is that what I'm reading this chart that was
Closer to
provided?
15,
Closer to 15.
based on the ROI.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. I was reading the wrong column.
Yep.
15, yes.
Correct.
That's pretty significant.
Will
It
they give
is.
us a payment plan?
Well, the good news,
That's a good point.
I haven't worked out the details yet, but the good news in this program is generally they will finance that $42,000 interest-free.
Great.
So there is that benefit as well, assuming we can work out the details. I also want to remind the board that we made a commitment to change out the street lights to LED. There is a little over an $18,000 contribution on the part of the town to do that as well. So, we're looking at a significant expense here to change all the lights out in town to LED lights, which, would be of a benefit in about 3 to 4 years. I'm not going to see anything short-term,
All right.
so.
Do you
wanna-
think these incentives and the 0% financing would last over a couple of years? Thinking if we can maybe do a building a year or to kind of spread it out, do you think that those incentives would still be there?
I think those incentives are probably going to be good for about 6 months. So we could phase this, over a 6-month period. So we don't have to make a big financial contribution to the program right up front. After 6 months, I'm not sure.
I think if the bottom line is if it makes sense and the saving is there, whether it's if we're gonna do it for one building, we should do it for all the buildings. I mean, in a couple of years' time, it's no different than going to solar power. If you decide the investment's worthwhile, then you go for it and you do it. So I mean, I'm in favor of upgrading.
Are there any other benefits besides saving money? I think I've
Yeah,
heard LEDs are better lighting and, better than fluorescence.
There is a warranty with the lights, so for over a period of time, certainly on the, in talking with NICEAG, the lighting fixture, there's a 1-year warranty. The bulbs, I think, are warranted for a longer period. So if anything happens, it's, we're gonna have that savings as well. We're not gonna have the maintenance. LED bulbs last significantly longer than fluorescent.
Environmentally, we're not absorbing as much from, we're not requiring
Mhm.
that generation of power, which cuts down on environmental factors.
Yeah.
Granted, a small amount, but if you expand that out, it all helps. Less dependent on creating those resources.
This is their numbers, both the number of lights that would be changed out and the savings to the town.
Yes, NICEAG employed a private consultant to come in and evaluate every building, no charge. And this is the numbers that they have provided to us.
Well, just as an example, even, it looks like Town Hall, they're looking at 234 items for the quantity of the number of retrofits. That's,
Who would actually do the changing of the lights?
NICEAG hires a private contractor to come in and change them all out.
And that's in these,
That's in those numbers.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work.
yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
3
so
years is,
The sense I get from everybody is you want to move forward with
I'm in favor of it.
all of them?
I'm in favor.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then let me go back and work up the numbers with Trish and make sure the financing, we can get the financing in place.
To me, if we can get 0% now, I'd rather get the 0% now than wait 6 months and then not be sure.
Yeah.
That money is just as good now as,
Yep.
doing it 6 months from now. So.
All right, I will start working on putting this together.
Great. Thank
Put
you.
it on for next meeting.
Awesome.
Okay, next is an executive session, which we are not going to hold.
Anything else, Charles?
I'm good.
Alrighty, very happy to let the public know about a project that has come up recently that I think is going to benefit our community, both environmentally and educationally. And that is a boardwalk project for the environmental park, which is very near the rec center. This project was something that was kicked around a few years ago, but has taken some steam under the leadership of Rick Ciricelli. We envision that it'll be a project that will allow greater access with less impact to the wetland area of the Great Swamp and be utilized by lots of community groups, our local schools. And to that end, we would like to apply for some grant funding to get some funding for this project for some of the materials and such. There is a matching component to it, and we anticipate that the town's contribution can come in many forms, such as Rick Ciricelli's time as a town employee, almost said county employee, which he also is, some work from our highway department in equipment use. But in essence, this is the very beginning of planning for this project. The folks from Frogs, Friends of the Great Swamp, have also been somewhat involved in the planning and thinking about this project for a number of years. And so there's a lot of grassroots effort and that's, I think, what we're gonna need most for this project is we'd love to be able to get some Eagle Scout projects included in this and some help from our different environmental stewards and environmental groups. So this is a project that I'm very interested in being a part of. I've already spoken with Rick Ciricelli about this. And so I have a memo here, or a letter, that basically is the explanation of the town applying for grant funding from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation for a part of the cost of this project. And this is for the amount that's requested is going to be $12,000. So there is an in-kind matching expectation from the town. And I think that will go a long way towards building a safe boardwalk that will allow people to experience and learn about the Great Swamp in a way that's not as impactful as just walking out into the swamp, which currently only happens really when we have weather like this, once everything freezes up. But if anyone has been over to Green Chimney School, they have a similar boardwalk that allows them access to additional parts of their property. But I know that that boardwalk goes over some areas that are underwater all year long, and it allows them to use it as part of their environmental education program. So I fully support this project. I think it's an outstanding addition to the town of Patterson. I think it adds to the destination that Patterson is. We use the environmental park for so many things, for our kayaking and canoeing and hunting and different aspects, and I think that this will just be a great addition. Do we need a motion for the application of the grant, or?
Well, we needed basically a resolution, so it should
Okay.
be, in the form of resolved
Okay.
that the town board authorizes the submission of the application and further resolve that the supervisor is authorized to make,
Okay.
the application. And
Okay. I'll never say it as well as you did, but I will move
I
that
didn't say it that well.
that the town board approve the town supervisor to act in all necessary means to apply for the grant as outlined in the document that was submitted to the town, which in essence is applying to the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation for an amount of $12,000, and to effectuate the signature and sign off on any documents necessary to effectuate their submission.
Well said. All
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
By the way, I was encouraged to hear that you wanted to be involved in
I
this.
do.
Because we can.
I'm gonna dig holes, I guess.
Well, we can use your time as part of the in-kind match.
I'm happy to do it. This is the kind of stuff I'd love to work on.
I have a feeling
Yeah.
there's gonna be a few of us out there.
I
doing
think
this.
it's going to be great.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about it. But speaking of which, though, if anyone has a Eagle Scout, potential Eagle Scout that they know of that's looking for a project, I think we can probably get 5 or 6 Eagle
yeah.
Scouts out there. That would be a great contribution to the town of Patterson, and I think it'd be a really worthwhile project, something that's going to be around for the next generation. So, from that, I move to some really exciting news about wastewater treatment plants and boilers needing to be replaced. But unfortunately, with this weather, we did have a boiler go down at the Patterson Hamlet wastewater treatment plant. As everyone can, I'm sure, appreciate, this is a timely issue. We did receive and request some quotes. We do have to move on this quickly, and so I'll request that we approve hiring HRR Industries to replace the boiler, one of the boilers.
If I could just ask, because we
Yeah.
are currently waiting for another quote.
Yeah.
Just approve the amount.
Approve just an
and
amount.
not HHR
Sure.
Industries.
Okay, so amend the the motion to just say an amount not to exceed $8,100 to replace the boiler. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And then the best part of our agenda tonight, no offense to Jack Carell and his Jack and Jill subdivision,
Maybe you want to table this one for,
I think
Oh,
that we
that's
should probably do that, but we might get something thrown at us. No. For just a little bit of background, we were very honored and happy on January 11th, 2017, to make one of the most important appointments I think this town has had in a number of years, and that is to Denise Montana, who was appointed our provisional or temporary EMS administrator. That is, without a doubt, just one of the most important decisions this town board has made over the last few years with creating the EMS, and she was a huge part of that. And we have put our full confidence in Denise, and she hasn't disappointed. And recently, we were really, really happy to hear that she also scored in the top 3 on the exam that's required for her to move from provisional to permanent. So I am honored to move this resolution appointing Denise Montana as our permanent EMS administrator, and enter the resolution as though it were read in its entirety into the record. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mike
congratulations.
would say, meet me in the back. Denise, thank you so much
Been a
for
long journey, huh?
all your hard work. The hard work's still just beginning, but we do appreciate all your dedication to everyone in Patterson. And the stories keep coming in about the idea that you have never-ending care for customer treatment, for patient treatment, which are our customers and our residents. And that's what this is all about. So thank you so much. People are getting the right care quickly, and that means the world to us, and I know that it means the world to you as well, so thank you so much for that. So I feel like I got the best agenda, minus the boiler, the best agenda ever, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
What do
I
you want,
appreciate
everything?
that. No, I got it, that's it, it's downhill from here.
All right, I've got, very quickly, just a couple of updates to share with the board.
Oh, good.
I attended a meeting of the Shared Services Committee, which includes myself and the supervisors and the County of Putnam to work on sharing of services. The primary focus of the conversation that day had to do with e-waste. We are looking at trying to get a unified bid out so that we can deal with our e-waste problem. Currently, as everybody is aware, the company that was under contract with the county, and we just learned that it was only under contract to the county until about 2014. They never renewed the contract, but the vendor continued to provide the service. Has decided they're not going to provide the service anymore for free, as they were. They are looking to charge. We are currently working out the details about, in the interim, whether we are going to be paying for the removal of e-waste, which would be my recommendation to the board. He has given us a very competitive price, but then we're going to work together with the county, and we have another meeting on in the beginning of February to resolve all these issues and get this going so that we can resolve our e-waste issue as part of an additional shared service that we hadn't talked about before. We are then going to move on to a couple of other initiatives. We're still looking at dog control, though I don't see that is going to go very far. And I will keep the board appraised of moving, the Shared Services Committee and the activities that we're proposing as we go forward. Great.
In the meantime, are we not taking e-waste, or are they still taking the e-waste with provisions that?
We stopped taking e-waste as of December 31st. So we currently are not taking e-waste.
There will be a solution, you just have to hang out for a little while.
Yes.
Well, I would say if the county doesn't have a agreement with whomever by the middle of February, then we should sign on with the one company that's willing to come in and pick it up, even if it's for 1 year or 6 months.
Well, we're looking to do a very short 4-month contract. It's probably going to take till May or June before the county can get this all bid out in a unified bid for all of us, and then get the results back in so we can award them.
So we have to wait until that time frame?
No, what we're proposing to do is just what you said, is we will go into a short-term contract with the company so we can start taking e-waste again.
We would do that on our own, or do we have to wait for the county?
No, we would do that on our own.
Perfect. Okay.
Sure,
Good.
makes sense.
Is there anything said about shared services relative to the highway and snow removal? or since
Yes, we did
just-
discuss the whole concept of plow up, plow down. Stop shaking your head. And the thinking is that we need to get back in a room with our highway superintendents, to further discuss the concepts. We know that there's a lot of issues related to that, things like liability. If something happens while our trucks are plowing county road, who takes on the liability? Wear and tear, manpower. So there are a number of issues. So that is still on the agenda, but, we realize that that's one of the proposals that's going to require a significant amount of work.
Okay.
The second update I just want to share with everybody comes from the East of Hudson Watershed Corporation. As I think most of you are aware, that Patterson is a participant in the East of Hudson Watershed Corporation. It is a corporation of 19 municipalities, all sharing services. Basically, the corporation focuses on the MS4 stormwater program and providing stormwater retrofits throughout the communities. And we are sharing both the responsibility, some of the costs, the maintenance, but also benefiting from sharing the phosphorus reduction credits between the municipalities. So if some of the municipalities are having a more difficult time in finding projects to reduce phosphorus, they can get credit for it for, say, town of Patterson if we find that we've done more than our fair share. We also get compensated for doing more than our fair share. It's been a new year. We reorganized as of January 1st. I am once again Vice President of the corporation.
Beautiful.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you.
So maybe we will
I was gonna say
get some money
condolences.
from East of Hudson, right? For doing everything we should be doing.
We are. I've just put in the payment request for Highway doing the maintenance on them. We have a stormwater retrofit project planned for Veterans Park. That should be occurring in October. And we are looking at 2 or 3 retrofit projects over in Putnam Lake. So, yeah, so we're doing that. But the big news, the reason I really have it on the agenda is to let everybody know that if we can't find any other funding sources, the town of Patterson, as well as all the other municipalities, are on the hook for paying for the program. It's a very expensive program. 2 weeks ago, we finally resolved all the issues and got the contracts, and they are now signed back down to the city. We have once again been very successful about negotiating funding for the corporation from New York City, who has been very, very good about helping us along. We acquired another $22 million to keep the corporation in business. The retrofit program is a 5-year program. We are currently halfway through our 2nd year. Unfortunately, or I should say 2nd 5-year term, which actually expires the end of 2020. So now that we've got the funding from New York City DEP, I anticipate by the end of the year, the negotiating team, consisting of myself, Warren Lucas from the town of Somers, from the town of North Salem, and Peter Parsons from the town of Lewisboro, will be back down at Valhalla with the DEP, asking for more money for the next 5 years. So,
Great.
We have every confidence in the Vice President of East of Hudson.
corporation. Good. All right, the last thing on my agenda is a proposal. This proposal is actually working its way through the state legislature right now. It's passed the Assembly. It is currently before the Senate. And what this does is it grants a 90-day furlough or a 90-day extension for furloughed federal workers from having to pay their real property taxes. There's a lot of details that are absent from the program right now, but the end of tax season is fast approaching, January 31st, I believe. And if we don't take action on this tonight, we are going to miss an opportunity to possibly help out some of the federal workers who are going through some very rough times right now through no fault of their own, because we have a federal government that can't get their act together. So,
This is a,
yes, go ahead.
this is a 90-day extension.
It allows for a 90-day extension. Unfortunately, as I said earlier, the state has not yet adopted this, but I anticipate this should be resolved by the end of the week.
And if they don't adopt it, it's a moot point.
If they don't adopt it, it's a moot point. It also will require the county's participation in it because the tax bill comes out as one tax bill. So the county is going to have to find some way to also approve a resolution to move this program forward. So I do have a resolution here that was prepared by our town attorney, which would adopt this law. Would adopt this program if it becomes law in New York State. And I would just like to add in here that the resolution be contingent upon the Putnam County. All right, it is in here. The County of Putnam would also need to authorize a 90-day extension. So, that being said, I would like to enter this resolution into the minutes as though read, and move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
I would like to suggest that the second come from the entire town board on this one.
Okay.
So be it.
So do we have to say all in favor? I guess you can apparently second something and vote against it, right?
You can.
So
All in favor?
I mean, it's
Aye.
just, I think,
Aye.
to get the message to the county, to the state, that, come on, you know? Because our friends in Washington can't chew gum and tie their shoes, that we should, people are getting hurt, and let's make the statement, we do, this is the only thing we can do. So let's,
And it may be premature, but we're willing to do what we can.
Sounds good.
A no-brainer.
Okay, Mary.
Okay, so we have 2 items from the rec center. The first one is we're seeking the professional. Sure. That's all right. The first item from the rec center is we're seeking professional cleaning services for the Patterson Recreation Center. Right now, we don't have any steady cleaning service. So I'd like to make a motion for the town clerk, Antoinette, to advertise a request for bids for professional cleaning services for the Patterson Recreation Center. So moved.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The second item is just an announcement from the Recreation Center. Do you have that? Oh, thank you. Must have misplaced it. Okay, so from Mr. Matt Chabarro, he'd like us to remind everyone that January has been a very busy month for the rec center so far. The preschoolers have come back to school to find Santa had left them a new train table.
A new what?
A new train table.
Oh.
They're into trains, or those little, you know, those little tables that they play with. There's still room for a few more students. 2, 3, and 5 morning options are available, so if anyone has any children that they'd like to get in the pre-K class, there's available room. The first pizza night of 2019 welcomed over 80 participants, and this is why we need this cleaning service so bad, by the way. There will be 2 during the month of February, and on the 2nd and 23rd. The flag football season opens on Sunday. There are over 200 players and a total of 24 teams. The Kids Cook starts this Friday. This class has been filled, so if anyone's interested, you'll have to wait for the next one. Next Friday night's game night, Game On, will be on February 8th, and the Golden Age seniors are having a senior social on Tuesday, January 29th from 11 to 1. There will be various board and card games available, game tables, and an art project available. A light lunch will be served. The cost is $3 per person. If you have not signed up, you can RSVP by Thursday, January 24th. That's tomorrow at 878-7200. And once again, Matt would like to thank everyone for their support for the Patterson Rec Center. And that's all. Thank you.
Peter.
All right, first item on my agenda is the Putnam Lake docks. So the prices are in from the docks. Easy Docks seems to be the lowest price, and the Putnam Lake Park District requests that we go with them. But as with some further discussion and further research, we found that well, the bids were priced out to just for the docks and the hardware, right? And traditionally, the Park District would put them together and put them out and install them. But we did find out that this company, Easy Docks, can also install them as well, saving a lot of time and effort from our people. Also, they also make kick plates for the docks. So the kick plates are for the swim team, for the, to kick off the docks for competitions. I guess traditionally they made them out of wood and made them themselves.
Yes.
But they do sell aluminum ones that could be installed. What's good about the Easy Dock system is that it can be they can install it for us, and they could be left in the lake during the winter time during the ice. So I guess they installed them up in LaGrange.
There is a
lake
set of,
up in
yep,
LaGrange.
up in LaGrange.
So that might be something to even go look at and see how since it's iced over now, this is a good time to see if they're holding up and if it's a good system that might be good for us, so.
Listen, I'm up for a road trip if anybody wants to go.
Yeah, I'll take a ride.
Yeah, I do plan on going up.
Yeah.
I want to take a look at them.
Yeah, I'm interested as well. So I think it'd be good maybe to look into that extra money for the installation and maybe also look into maybe the kick plates if it's worth installing aluminum ones or if it's better just to do what they usually do, make them themselves.
The good thing about the aluminum ones is that they will last for a very long time, assuming that they're not going to be vandalized.
Mm.
The bad news is they could be vandalized, and then, they're fairly expensive. So,
And
Yeah, but
hopefully they're,
our new security system out there will pick up on that.
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, my only concern too would be if we just did it like we usually do with the wood, if we left them in, I don't know how the wood would hold up with the ice.
I don't think it would, yeah.
You can't leave wood in,
Yeah.
it will break it.
So the aluminum might be better, best way to go, so I don't know how everybody wants to,
What? It sounds like we want to just confirm that quick site walk. I think we're overdue for a site walk anyway.
Okay,
road trip.
all right, road trip?
Just not
Seven-
set,
7 a.m.
Well, how's everybody feel about changing things up a little bit and actually paying the extra money, which is considerable, to have the docks permanently installed rather than taking them in and out every year?
I love
I
the
like that.
idea of not having our volunteers
Yes.
in a motorboat and doing something where they're going to get hurt.
Well, we're actually starting to pay to put these docks in every year, so it's like a $2,000 savings.
Hmm.
Yeah. So you know, plus you said if they install it, they warranty it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's huge. This is not cheap. These are expensive docks. So
Yeah, if they're put in wrong or,
yeah. And our park board, our Putt Lake Park Board is busy doing so many different things, and they're admitting that they can't get it all done. Trail systems that we need to once in a while help out the volunteers and, bring in the
Yes.
professionals to do the work. Not that they don't do a great job, that's not the point, but they can't do everything.
Okay.
all right?
All right, so I'll send an email out and we'll schedule a road trip.
So,
And I'll send this over to Putnam Lake because they don't have this additional information, the Park Advisory Board, and let them weigh in on it.
great.
Here's some of the responses already, but,
Yeah.
okay, sounds
All
good.
right, good. And my next item is the Jack and Jill Hollow subdivision. So we had our public hearing. I don't have a problem with the approving the variance. So I have a motion of a resolution here. I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution as read to approving the variance from chapter 138 for Jack and Jill Hollow subdivision. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Last, I have budget transfers. I will do the 2018 separately, and then we have one for this year. So the first one is budget transfer number 59 regarding Patterson Refuge District Number 2. So $5,995 from hospital and medical insurance to $5,995 to sanitation contractual. Transfer request number 60 regarding EMS Department ambulance contractual, $1,445 from ambulance equipment and capital outlay to $1,445 to ambulance contractual. Budget transfer number 61 regarding justices contractual, $663 from justices training to $663 to justices contractual. I'd like to approve those. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then I have one for budget transfer number 1 for 2019 regarding taxes and assessments on property contractual. $2,840 from contingent account to $2,840 to taxes on property contractual. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. That is all I have.
Other business, any town board member have any other business they wish to bring up at this time?
You have to do anything about this one? You have some-
Have to approve it.
Okey-doke. We have a letter here from our newly anointed EMS administrator. She would like the town board to approve Miss Caitlin Canizaro, leave of absence from the town Patterson EMS, effective immediately until June 1st, 2019. Ms. Canizaro is asking for a leave of absence so that she can concentrate on her coursework for the remainder of the semester. Ms. Canizaro understands that she must return to work as of June 1st, 2019 to continue to be considered an employee of the town's EMS service. So I will, have I got any objections?
Not for studying for coursework.
Yeah.
I think that's
Got
the
it.
best reason I've ever heard for a leave of absence.
Absolutely, Sean. Well, I'll make a motion that the town board approve Ms. Caitlin Canizaro's leave of absence request from now until June 1st, 2019. So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone else? All right, I do have one thing. I had a discussion today with our receiver of taxes, Mrs. Delanoy. Last meeting, we had a discussion about the Association of Towns, and if anybody wanted to be the delegate going down to the Association of Towns. Nobody was interested. Well, Mrs. Delanoy is interested in being the delegate. Do you have anything you wish to say? So I'd like to make a motion that the town board appoint Mary Delanoy as delegate for the town of Patterson to the Association of Towns.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did you give her the list of her speech that she has to give yet?
I didn't give her that page.
Oh, no, it's like 20 pages, right?
Well, yeah, but
It's a booklet.
You gotta be careful what you volunteer for around here, but no, I'm proud, Mary. Thank you for stepping forward. Proud that you're doing that. And there might be some other interest, it sounds like, right?
Oh, are you looking to go now?
No. We had a conversation. I have to look at my calendar.
Public recognition. Does any member of the public wish to be recognized at this time? Going once?
Going twice?
Motion to, yeah, I was gonna say motion to close the publication.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Have a good night.